to the private sector. That is privatization. Clear?
Yes.
So there are different ways in which privatization occurs. Number one, through the sale of public corporation. This could be done by selling shares in the business to anyone who wants it. So like the General Electric Company of Libya is a public corporation. It's a public corporation.
Yes.
They can sell shares to anybody that wants to buy. If they sell shares, it becomes a private sector business. That is privatization. Is it clear?
Yes.
Two, another way in which privatization can occur is through deregulation. Deregulation means that they reduce the laws that stop privatization. So there are some laws in the country that will say no, private sector cannot start business in this industry. So if there are laws like that, but if government wants to encourage privatization, government will reduce or soften those laws to encourage privatization. That's another way which privatization can come in. The third point is contracting out. So government can give contracts to private individuals. There are some things that government does before. But government don't want to do it anymore. They want to contract it to other people. So that's another way of privatization. So those contracts that are being run or that are being executed by by government are now executed by private individuals. That's privatization too. Sale of land and property. Here, government land, government property, they are being sold to private sector for commercial reasons. That's another form of privatization. Is it clear?
Yes.
Then we have, why does privatization take place? So one, to generate income. Government might sell these things so that they can make money that they can use for other government projects. Is it clear?
Yes.
Two, to reduce inefficiency in the public sector. We already said that the public sector is known for inefficiency. And for government to stop inefficiency, they might have to change hands. They might have to privatize those public sector businesses that are not profitable or efficient.
Yes.
Due to deregulation, if government soften laws of competitive policies, or laws that reduces competition, if government stop those laws that increase, if government comes up with laws that will increase competition in the market or in the industry, then privatization will take place because new businesses will come into the industry. Government might do this to reduce political interference. Like I said earlier, when new government comes into the country, when new government comes in, the public sector that is run by government have to change hands. Government will have to put those that they trust into the business. As a result, they will continue to change hands whenever new government comes in. Yes or no? Yes. So for this not to happen, government might privatize public sectors. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's about that. Then go to the activity. So we have this activity and the case study. I'm just going to answer the activity anyway. So here, the first question says, what is meant by the term privatization? Privatization is the process of transferring public sector business or resources into the private sector. That's privatization. I think that is clear. Yes. Question 2, they say, why were governments keen to maintain state control of airports until recently? So if governments are keen to maintain businesses because they consider those businesses as strategic, vital to the economy, like the airport. Government wants to control airport because airport is a strategic business. So those that come in, those that go out, the government knows. So it's a strategic business. So it is important for government to take position or government to take charge. The third one, describe 2 possible reasons why government should want to privatize airports. Well, these are the reasons why we have privatization. One, because of inefficiency of the airport authorities. If the public sector are not doing well, government can privatize it so that they can perform well. Also, government might privatize to raise money that can be spent on other infrastructure or education or healthcare. Yes. I think it's clear.
Yes.
Then we have the multiple choice questions. Number 1, they said, an industry where efficiency is improved, if there is just one operator, is which of the following? If there's one operator, it means it's a natural monopoly. Clear?
Yes.
Question 2, which of the following is a feature? Which of the following is a feature of a public corporation? It is owned by the board of directors. It is funded by the government. It's aimed to maximize profit. It is not accountable to anyone. It's funded by government. That's why it's a public corporation. I think it's clear.
Yes.
Question 3. The transfer of public sector resources to the private sector is called privatization. Yes, question 4. The question 3, that was C. Question 4. Which of the following is a reason against the public ownership of businesses? Public corporation may be too large and difficult to control. Yeah, lack of coordination. So these are the reasons why. This is one of the reasons why government might want to privatize a public corporation. Is it clear?
Yes.
So we have the chapter review case study, right? Okay. We have the case study. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, is Australian National Public Broadcaster. It is established under the Australian Broadcasting Corporation Act. The ABC is funded by the Australian taxpayer via the appropriation from the Commonwealth Government of Australia by political, sectional, and personal interest. The charter of the ABC sets this, and the stories are there anyway, but we don't have time to really go through them. So we just have to go to the questions. The first question says, what is meant by the term public corporation? A public corporation is a business organization that is owned and controlled by the government. That's why we call it public corporation. I think that is clear.
Yes.
The second question says, describe 2 features of public corporations. Use the ABC as an example. Public corporations such as ABC have a number of unique features, such as 1, they are established by law. So that means ABC is established under the Australian Broadcasting Corporation Act. That's the Australian Government Act. 2, its aim is to deliver public services, which means it doesn't have any motive to make profit. These are the 2 features of public corporation. Is it clear?
Yes.
Question 3. Why might organizations like ABC operate as public corporations? They might operate as public corporations because 1, those business the business that they operate in are considered as strategic and vital to the economy. So they don't want to leave it in the hands of the private sector. 2, the companies like ABC might be able to operate in unprofitable regions that are not profitable. They will be able to operate there because it is run and controlled by government, which private sector would not want to do. Is it clear? Then the last question here. No, question 4, yes. They said, assess the case of privatizing the ABC. So, government choose to privatize the public corporation as they may be able to, 1, ABC may be able to provide a universal service. That means ABC will be able to provide service for everybody. 2, the government will save money if transferred to private sector. So if government transfer ABC to private sector, government will be able to make money because government will generate income from there. So these are the reasons why government might want to privatize ABC. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that ends chapter 6.